What's up? How are you? I am Rex Spires, your host of the SWEATBOX. Welcome on in. Appreciate you coming along for the ride. Should be an exciting Friday evening for college conference championship games. Anish Shroff and Andre Ware are on hand in Harrisonburg, Virginia, as Troy State is at James Madison. James Madison all the way out to a 24.5-point favorite, comically high. I actually would have Troy State. Even I made it 21, which is what I think it opened. I would be taking 24.5 out of principle here. And I know James Madison needs to win by a lot for style points, et cetera, but coach is already on his way to UCLA after this. And, Troy State's shown the propensity to do well and hang in there a good part of the year. Probably won some games that they shouldn't have. Wasn't impressed with them a lot, but again, this is just a monster number. So, let's see what can happen here. As the Dukes take the field, the other game about ready to start on that's on ESPN, by the way. The other game on on CBS College Sports Channel, Jacksonville, Alabama. The site there as Jacksonville State at 8-4 will host Kennesaw State at 9-3. Each team 7-1 this year in Conference USA. That game will decide that league title. Both teams picked near the bottom. Coaching jobs done at both places, quite masterful to be honest. And the Owls take the field as a 3-point favorite. These two teams did meet earlier this year, and that was the one Kennesaw State lost in the conference. Jacksonville State beat them here by multiple scores, but it kind of an asterisk. They were -5 in the turnovers, Kennesaw was. So a little bit of a revenger in season here. If they can clean it up, I think the market expects them to. I made the game pick it. I would only have Jacksonville State at this level. The total is 62. The first half total for these games about to go. Got Kennesaw State's 1 and 1.5. Total is 30.5. There is a 31 at Circa. The Troy State James Madison game, 14. That seems incredible, but it is. And 24, basically the total. There's some 24.5 under a bunch out there as well. So, those two games about to kick off. There are two other ones later as well. Going in about an hour from now at Albertson Stadium in Boise. UNLV plays at Boise State for the second time this season. Boise 56-31 winner as a 13-point favorite the first time. I think a lot of people are confused and confounded about why they're playing again, in Boise another month and a half later, and the Rebels actually opened up very close to a pick'em. Johnny Avello and his DraftKings team actually had UNLV the favorite. It opened most places around 2, Boise, or 1.5, 2. That game went up immediately after the announcement of Maddox Madsen playing the quarterback for Boise, who'd been out since November the 1st. He scored several points to the line, not because he's any good, but because Boise has nothing behind him. So that's where we stand with that one. And then the last one, North Texas and Tulane. That game is on ABC tonight, the American Athletic Championship game. Tulane, I actually made a small favorite. The market had North Texas all the way up at 3. It's now 1. Pretty much painted. There is a couple 1.5 still out there. 66, the total 66.5. Head coaches for both of these teams will be leaving their respective schools to go to different jobs. The Tulane coach is going to Florida. The North Texas coach is off to Oklahoma State after the seasons are over, after this game or before the bowl or who knows what the hell. The winner of the Tulane-North Texas game, in all likelihood, will be going to the college football playoff. So that gets you reset for the 4 football games. We also have, there's NBA games. I'm not going to talk to you about that unless somebody has a specific question. There are 12 games in the NBA tonight. Hockey schedule about to tip as well. Vegas and New Jersey, Buffalo, Winnipeg. There's a Malinsky special tonight for the Jets. It's their first home game after a trip back east. and they're playing their backup goaltender. Buffalo probably worth a look tonight. Plus 110 or better was out there for a good part of the day. That one, they're about to drop the puck. Winnipeg also tomorrow goes to Edmonton, so just a horrible schedule spot here. So let's see. I've got a visual. Masson is showing Samford and VCU in the college hoops. I've got a visual on the Cintas Center for the crosstown shootout between Cincinnati and Xavier. And I've also got a visual on ESPN2 as Gonzaga playing Kentucky in Nashville. This game at Bridgestone. Bridgestone is notorious for having tight rims in conference tournament play. I think it's the Ohio Valley that played there last year, maybe. No, that's in Evansville. Who was at Bridgestone last year? I can't remember. I made a note about this with the tight rims there. Sure enough, we played 3 minutes and Kentucky hasn't scored yet. It's 2-0 Gonzaga, 16:45. That game is on ESPN2. The closing price, Gonzaga 5 and 159 and a half. We're underway. Looks like James Madison kicked. Goose Crowder back for Troy. Obviously makes a huge difference. With him healthy, they're a much better team than without. They really struggled on offense with him not playing. Defense held up. That's end of the deal. Ball is in the tee. Is in the air. On the tee, in the air, and Kennesaw State kicked it to Jacksonville State. Caden Creel will take over that offense at home. And they'll get to work. Hey, Mega MYKY, what's up? Got some winners for your people. Bring them on. I'm all ears. Let me fire up the old YouTube chat as well to make sure I'm not missing anything here. This is the SWEATBOX. I am your host, Rick Byers. Welcome along for the ride. Let's have a good one. I'll be with you through the halftimes at the very least. Boise State, UNLV, and North Texas Tulane. So probably a 3-hour show tonight, give or take, as we prepare for tomorrow as well. All right. UNLV. I mentioned this a few minutes ago. I am in agreement with you there. I don't love it, but I made the game 2.5. I certainly think that the compelling case for a lot of the people that try to pay attention to numbers are gonna constantly harp on the fact that this game was played on October the 18th, and the total was, the side ended up being Boise. UNLV was still undefeated at this point. Boise was laying 13 that day and beat them 56-31. So I think a lot of people will go back and say, wait a minute, how can this game be 5 when they just played and it was 13? And the argument against that, obviously, is that the two teams are totally different at this point. Certainly UNLV's defense has made great strides in the last four weeks. 4 wins, 3 covers, and only averaging 16 points a game in that stretch. So I would expect the improvement to continue tonight against Boise's offense. Maddox Madsen's coming back off of an injury, hasn't played since November the 1st, the quarterback for Boise. I'm a big proponent of rust. Ring rust is always an issue, especially when you play a position where the timing is as important as quarterback. I would think UNLV first half might actually be a better bet than the game. And certainly I'll be looking, if UNLV gets off to a good start, looking for spots to try to find an excuse to bet Boise live at a better number if I can see progress from the quarterback, if I can see the momentum starting to change, all those things. So Let's see. It looks like I see, said the NBA. You've got Lakers in Boston. That's an Amazon Prime game. And again, it's a 12 night card in the NBA. Everything's on the East Coast, no, everything's east of the Mountain Time Zone. The further and westernmost spot tonight for a game, I believe, is Oklahoma City. Just a scheduling freak. Looks like James Madison forces a Troy State punt, and Alonzo Barnett has ran for a first down. We're less than 2 minutes in there, and Jimmy Madison on the move. Jacksonville State also forced a punt to Kennesaw, who takes over at their own 35. The way this will work tonight in terms of trying to talk about the games, thanks for the horse, Mikey, also on the Turfway 7th. The last two games, North Texas Tulane and UNLV Boise, are on ABC and Fox. Those are games that I have an antenna feed on. For those unaware, I have 9 TVs, 7 of them. I have boxes, streaming boxes that are always going to entail a delay, anything from 45 seconds to 90. Whereas the antenna feeds, I'm going to be ahead of you guys pretty much every time. So the two games that start at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, I'll have a good beat on, and I'll be able to describe to you what's happening play-by-play more. This, not so much. With these other two games that are on ESPN and CBS College Sports, I'm having to watch them off the boxes, which have a delay compared to most of you. Third and long for both favorites. Kennesaw QB gets wrangled up. No flag. They'll have to punt. Jimmy Madison, 3rd and 14. Troy State coming with a little bit of a blitz. That'll be incomplete. They'll have to punt. So each team in both of the two early games are punting on their first drive. Oh, we got some inside information on Mikey's horse. Turfway Race 7, number 10. Going to have to make me call up my DRF Bets account here. At the very least, I can put it on, figure out when it's time to start sweating it. Log in. Sorry for the delay. Anytime somebody gives you a horse and you don't at least try to look into it, then you're not doing your patriotic duty as a horse player. Race 4, 9 minutes. So we still got some time here. All right. Now here pretty soon, Mikey, when there's a bunch of people watching this, which hopefully is as early as tomorrow, can't be giving out horse plays unless you want somebody to crush the line. The audience isn't big enough yet, but it will be. Race 7, 10 horse. Sheehy the jockey, A.M. Maya the trainer. Time form likes 11, 9, 10. You're 7 to 2 in the morning. No, that's not a bad price. $11:17 to go in the first up in Jacksonville, Alabama at Amherst Stadium. Kennesaw 3-point favor on the live price. Total opens 62 or close 62. It's down to 56 before the drive started here, which I think may still be a little too high. But, any one drive will put it right back into contention here. So, sorry for the silence here. Just kind of looking at some stuff, checking it out. The World Cup draw was earlier today. I'm still having to wrap my hand around all that. Still working on updated odds to win prices that I'm going to swap with a friend later on. Also going to work on some group prices. It's kind of tough to price the groups when you have all this uncertainty going on. There's still 6 groups that need to be completed out of the 12 because of the playoffs, the 4 UEFA teams that have to come in still, and then the other 2 from the other confederations. That'll keep me busy after we call it a night here in a couple hours. Gonzaga lost by 42 to Michigan last week. I haven't played since then. Figure they'll come out tonight, kick the shit out of Kentucky. Can't start much worse. 15 to 2. 6 minutes and 20 seconds in. I actually was looking forward to doing this with the 2 football games on and being able to watch the Cats for a while and not have to worry about anything else. Now it's at least until the top of the hour when the other 2 football games start. Troy State on 3rd and 2. They go backwards. They're going to have to punt. And Jacksonville State also punts. Lots of symmetry so far early. $19 to 2, is that right? I'm ready to shoot somebody. Kentucky 0 for 8 from the field. Zag 7 of 14. Hell, they're consistent. 0 for 9 now. Nobody can make one. 6 of the 9 have been threes. Missed them all. Just a catastrophic start. Who's playing? So Lowe is in tonight. That's the point guard. He hasn't played in forever. Johnson's still in. Moreno. Jelovich, Aberdeen. Yeah, not much to say about this. It's going to have to get better before it gets worse, I hope. Live prices on the college games. In the Foots, no score in either game. Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State, Troy State, and Jimmy Madison. Jimmy Madison, a 24-point favorite, 43.5 the total. 9:43 to go in the first at Bridgeforth Stadium in Harrisonburg, VA. I think that's too high still. I like Troy State plus the 24. Kennesaw, Jacksonville, not seeing much of a market. There we go. Kennesaw 2.5 and 55.5-ish maybe, give or take. Another thing on today, for those of you who are interested, I have a niece as a junior in high school who's probably a Division I level recruit if she wants to play volleyball. She may be a Division I basketball player too, I'm not sure. But I think she likes volleyball more. And the NCAA volleyball tournament just started. I've been paying a lot more attention to it the last couple of years. Obviously, when I was at Ball State, Muncie, Indiana is a hotbed for volleyball all over the country, constantly sending dozens of high school players to Division I schools all over the country, a lot of Big Ten players, et cetera, et cetera. So I covered volleyball some at Ball State, the men's team especially. But this women's is pretty exciting to watch. It's a growing sport for sure. And, like I said, I've watched, my niece played a pretty high level in the high school. When I get a chance to watch the NCAA tournaments, obviously a different level there. There's ESPN Plus has a channel called The Fifth Set, and that's basically like whip around coverage going to all the different games anytime there's a sweat or anytime something important is going to happen. For example, Pittsburgh's about to close out Maryland, Baltimore County. It's not close, but they're going to show the last couple points, and then they'll switch to some other match. So, that's that. I've also got on Samford and VCU playing tonight in Richmond. Masson, the channel that the Orioles are on, showing that game. And of course, I've got Cincinnati Xavier about to tip off at the bottom of the hour, a little after that crosstown shootout at the Cintas Center, in addition to the 4 college games and Gonzaga, Kentucky. So that's what the 8 TVs that I'm watching tonight are on for the time being. I got invited out by a couple of friends to watch this UNLV Boise game. I'm not interested. December in Las Vegas, it's cold outside. The game starts at 5 o'clock local. There's traffic everywhere. It's Friday afternoon. I wanted to do this instead anyways. More practice, more reps, get ready for tomorrow. have you guys ask me any questions. Maybe you can see something that I don't. Still got to do some fight work. Don't want to go out and do anything stupid. Ugh. No nap today. You'll be able to see it if I keep doing that much longer. Kentucky had a stretch the other night where they went more than 10 minutes without hitting a field goal. And they just started this game, another one where they went 8:53 without a field goal. Like, that just totally boggles my mind. Like, how a team with this much offensive potential can possibly go 9 minutes without scoring, making a basket, or 10 minutes without making a basket. I realize the opposition's a little better than Valpo or Eastern Illinois, but Jesus. Third and 11 for Troy State as we go under 8 minutes in the first quarter. Jacksonville State bangs it out to about the 47. That'll be a first down against Kennesaw. Once again, hard for me to give you play-by-play in those two games because of the fact that there's a delay. I'll be much more in tune with actual play-by-play stuff in the games that are in Boise and New Orleans here at the start in another 40 minutes or so. All right, pregame show underway on Fox for the UNLV Boise game. Looks like there'll be no pregame show on ABC. That may mean that game doesn't start till closer to 8:15. Troy State does punt it back to Jimmy Madison. 7:04 to go in the first. Jimmy Madison 21.5 on the live, 22.5 out there as well. Total 40.5, down from the close of 47. JMU students were throwing snowballs, and as the PA announcer reminded the fans not to throw snowballs, then they threw some more snowballs. The fifth set got a quad box on it. All right. Yeah, highly recommended if you have an extra TV to watch the fifth set. If you have any, if you have any, I don't what. Obviously, there's no betting interest. If you have any interest in volleyball, sports growing on me for sure. With my niece, like I say, my nieces both at the high school level. One of them, I think, is a Division I talent. Cats are trying to work their way back into this thing here. Garrison hits a 3, and Aberdeen had scored the last time and got fouled on a tip. Gonzaga did get a tip in by EK. 23-11 Zags at the under 8 timeout. The lead was as large as 19-2. EK will never go out there. Garrison might be able to hit 10 threes. Jacksonville State on second and goal throws a pick, and Kennesaw will take over. Last time these two teams played, it was Kennesaw with the costly turnovers in the red zone. This time, Creel throws an interception. 2:36 to go in the first. Kennesaw State takes over after the touchback. Kennesaw laying 3.5 total. Call it 47.5 flat, give or take. That's close. Down from 62. Not quite ready to go over yet, but won't be much longer. Get to a buy point. 7 minutes to go in Harrisonburg. Alonzo Barnett 0 for 4 tonight. Passing. He takes over at, or they have it at their own 27 here. Yeah, I could see real early that Troy State is going to cover this number. I think they'll cover it by a lot. Their defense, James Madison might not score 24 points, let alone cover 24, 24.5. Underway at the Cintas Center. UC takes a 3-0 lead at Xavier in the crosstown shootout. One of the better rivalries in college basketball, certainly. Got to put it in the top 20. Just the timing's not quite right for James Madison. That Barnett pass has been caught all year. To this time, it's just a little bit over his head, and he didn't catch it. Enough Blaine to pass around to both. Punts fielded at the 24. Out to the 31. 6:01 left in the first. Troy State will take over there. Oh, that's right. They were losing by 18 to Gonzaga last year up in Seattle. They came back and won the game. Well, they've got a lot of work to do today. They're down 26 to 11. Two of 12 from three, 3 of 19 overall. Really burning the nets down today. Goose Crowder limping around for Troy State. That would be a real problem. Their offense has zero chance to score without him. Haven't been much with him, to be honest, so far here. Kennesaw bangs it out around midfield. I got to figure out what's going on up here. This basketball's a funny game. Gonzaga gets beat by 50 last week, and now they're going to come back and beat this team by 50. And now Kentucky would probably play Michigan in a week and beat them. Troy State punted it, so Jimmy Madison has it. 4:23 to go in the first quarter. We're just about through one. Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State will come at the live price here shortly on that. Pretty good field position for the Dukes. They've won that battle so far in this quarter, if nothing else. Start this drive in Troy State territory. Kennesaw State has it 2nd and 9 at the Jacksonville State 35. Yardage is about even in the first. Jacksonville State had a nice drive going. They threw that pick down in the end zone. This is Kennesaw State's third drive. Punt, punt, pick for Jacksonville State, punt, punt. And then Kennesaw with their best drive of the game to this point. Live price, Kennesaw 4.5. There is some 5 out there. That seems like reckless to me. Like in no world can the line be that high. Total 47, 47.5 under. No opinion yet. Think maybe over, worth a look, but not just yet. I need to see the offenses both get in gear a little more. I don't think that's a done deal yet. Barnett 1 for 6 for 6 yards. He also has ran for 16. And this one is tipped and should have been intercepted. Oh, horrific decision there. 4th and 13. Now they're going to have to kick a field goal, I would assume. This is only going to be set up for by the simple reason that the defense put him in position. He threw across his body. Just a terrible decision. James Madison did make the field goal. 21, 38.5. The new live prices. I would take Troy State plus 21. Just a continual take. Keep taking Troy State until I tell you to stop. Like the third base coach, just waving you on in. Just don't stop betting on Troy State. James Madison may not score 24 points. Must remember, say what you want. These James Madison kids know full well that their coach is on his way out the door, and there's going to be a good amount that are following him right out the door. Several of them, no doubt, will be headed right to Southern California. Most of the college basketball tonight started at either 7 or 7:30 Eastern. The exceptions were Notre Dame TCU, which goes at the top of the hour. That's on ESPN Plus, and then San Diego and San Jose State, which I believe is also an ESPN Plus game. got the horse channel set up for the Turfway race that my guy Mikey told me about here. Turfway race 7, number 10. Got a little bit of time till we get to it. It's only the 5th coming up. 3rd and goal for Kennesaw, who has called timeout. 13:08 to go in the second. And you've got a 3rd and 3 for Troy State. Both teams in that game are 0 for 4 on 3rd downs. Let's see if that was loud enough. Clearly it was. Oh, huge play by Troy State. Catch and a 1st down. Is that my guy Goose Crowder drop one in? Had a man open and he did. Nice throw. Yeah, if UNLV plays like they did against Hawaii, or if they play like they did against a couple of those other wins where they covered down the stretch, they can win this game. But the way they played up there the first time, I know a lot of people won't forget that, where they just literally couldn't stop Boise. It was 28-24 at halftime, Boise, and then by the time you looked up, it was 56-24. Dan Mullen looks excited. There's a non-zero chance he's in contention for one of these jobs that's opened up. But he hasn't taken anything as of now, and he seems content out here, so we'll see how much longer he stays out here. Kennesaw's into the paint. 13:03 left in the first. They take a 6-0 lead. Point pending. Point is good. Bennett runs it in. That's 11 plays, 80 yards, 4:33 off the clock. Kennesaw State leads in Jacksonville 7-0. Troy State, Jimmy Madison into the first quarter. Crowder's pass for 30 that was complete. Takes it to the Jimmy Madison 38. New price 17.5, 18. It's still take. Troy State all the way to the barn. This is the 4th time I've instructed you, and I won't stop until they start getting this line right. It's not right. Jimmy Madison's laying a number that's not right. 24.5, 24, 21, and 18 are all takes. 17.5 is also good. If that means you have 4 units on it, I guess that's enough. Stop. Obviously, for me, 3's a big play. 2's, medium. 1.5 to 2 is about an average type play. 1's small, but yeah, your money management goes out the window if you just keep going like a suicide bomber. Lord knows it's happened to me before, good and bad. But at some point, go ahead and stop. You always have a chance to buy back, hopefully sooner rather than later. I would say that if you've taken 4 swings at the pinata like I've said to, then that's probably enough. If you missed one, then I'll let you know. Get another one coming back. Maybe if Troy State scores here, you take one last pop at it. Kentucky just getting the shit beat out of them. (41-16). Very tough to watch. I mean, it's like a barrage of 8-2 and 8-0 runs the whole half. Like, that's four of them. All right. Jacksonville State with it after the Kennesaw touchdown came off their turnover. Kennesaw took it the length of the field to score. 7-0 Owls. Second quarter underway in Harrisonburg as well. Troy State on the move. Not quite the field goal range, but getting close. Going for it all. Oh, Crowder's pass is caught. Down to the 1. Thomas reels it in. All right, all right, all right. Troy State on the field. On the field. Now what? Now what's this committee going to do? if Troy State wins, they can't get. It would have to be Duke if they win tomorrow, right? I don't know how it couldn't be. The AAC winner and then Duke if they beat Virginia. Are they allowed to take Miami over Duke? Goose Crowder in, lowers his shoulder, bangs it in for the touchdown. Troy State on the field, 14:01 to go in the first. They lead as a 24.5-point dog, 6-3 at James Madison. I'll keep you posted if we want any more live or not. They might get this price right eventually, but they've missed it the first few times. New price 13.5 and 14.5 is what I see. If you can take 14.5, go again. Take another swing at it. They've once again got it wrong. The 13.5 is too high. It should be like 11. Jacksonville State had 3rd and 25, and the quarterback took off and ran for like 30. That's absolutely unexcusable if you're Kennesaw. Poor pursuit angle by the linebacker. Receivers did a good job keeping the defensive backs occupied down the field as well. 14 and a half. I mean, it's a take. Like I say, at 24 and a half, 24, 21, and 17 and a half. I would say 14 and a half for a fifth swing or a 15 if you wanted. If you missed one earlier, don't take another swing if you've already got four. Four punches, leave it alone. If not, go ahead and get the 14 and a half or 15 for another swing, and then stop. That's 5 recommendations at 20, from 14 and a half to 24 and a half. That's enough. They'll get it right eventually. I don't know when. They haven't come close yet. Let's go over the lines here on these games. Here we're on the SWEATBOX. I am Rex Byers, your host. Top of the hour here. Thanks for checking me out. Both on YouTube and Twitch. Albertson Stadium in Boise is the scene for the Mountain West Championship. 10-2 UNLV against 8-4 Boise. Boise a 6-point favorite here at Post. 60 the total. And in the other game, North Texas and Tulane. North Texas Tulane is on ABC. Yulman Stadium in New Orleans, home of the Tulane Green Wave. Oh, we got a breakaway touchdown for Jimmy Madison, long run. 13:41 in the second, 9-7 point pending for Jimmy Madison. No bueno. North Texas is the favorite at Tulane. I think that's the wrong thing. I made Tulane 1.5. It's North Texas 1 here at Post. Was as high as 3. Total 66.5. 67 is out there as well. Probably going to be an exciting game. Winner of it is ticketed for the college football playoffs. Coaches in this North Texas Tulane game seem to have a lot of affinity for each other. Yeah, I've never seen this before. Winners in the playoffs, and both coaches are gone already. $73-yard run by Knight for Jimmy Madison to take that 10-7 lead. Live prices are back up to 19.5, 20. Nothing to do there. Be important for Troy to retort here. At the very least, no more of those big play touchdowns. As I say, once these two games that are about to start on ABC and Fox get underway, I'll be a little more hands-on with the play-by-play because I'll be having a live feed. The other two are on tape, and I don't get a good visual. Can't really see what's going on live like you guys can. There's no reason to tell you what's happening because I'm behind you anyways. Madsen has an interception against UNLV. When did that happen? I feel like he's played them 3 times and they've beaten him pretty good, all 3 of them. Last year, the game out here was competitive. Actually went to that game. Oh, great. Boise with their cheating uniforms again. Blue on blue. Got a commercial. Troy State had to punt it to Jimmy Madison. Let me look at the game state there. That one's gotten away there the last couple minutes. First down at their own 22 after the 48-yard punt. Quick 3 and out that time. Crowder was sacked on first down. The drive never got started. 10-0 Jimmy Madison total. Sides 20.5, 51.5 total, 50.5 over. Nothing to it. I actually like under a little bit. Close 47 and it's up to 50.5, 51.5. Kind of correlated to the side with all the dog plays plus 21.5, 21. It's just basically throw that last play out and really obviously Jimmy Madison hasn't done much, but you can't throw it out. It happened. It just is what it is. Oh, Kennesaw, yeah, Kennesaw going the wrong way here. 3rd and 27 now. They're going to call timeout. 2:58 to go before the half. What is going on here, Troy State? Jesus. It's the second play in a row. This Knight's had a gaping hole. UNLV gets the ball first after Boise kicks it, and they promptly lose 5 yards on the first play from scrimmage. Shot the gap early. No one up front touched him. Looks like the Tulane's kicker's on the field. That means they're going to kick it to North Texas. So for those of you charting the kickoffs for second half purposes tonight, Kennesaw State kicked off at Jacksonville State. Jimmy Madison kicked off to Troy. Tulane kicked off to North Texas. First down Rebs. Calandria keeps it out towards midfield. Boise kicked off to UNLV. Thomas, maybe a yard. North Texas, 11-1 this season. Tulane 10-2. Rebs going the wrong way here. Third and 9, Jimmy Madison. How about a stop? Mestamaker scrambles for a first down for North Texas early at Tulane. 3rd and 11. Calandria's pass is complete. Now they got to strip him at the end. It's going to be a fumble. Boise gets it. At the 41, that's where they'll take over. Yeah, they did a good job. They held him up, and then the strippers came in and made a play. Actually, wasn't even a stripper. He was falling down. He got hit from behind before he went down. Fascinating matchup here. This Boise offense put up 56 against UNLV's defense the first time up here back in mid-October, but this is a different UNLV defense. It's been much maligned early. It's been much better in the second half. These last 4 wins, 3 of them covers. They've only given up 16 points a game. Ten 7, James Madison over Troy State, 19.5, 18.5, and total 48. Live, nothing to it for me right now. And it looks like Boise completes a pass, but only for about 2. It may be 4th and punt. Call it 3 to go. Had all kinds of designs on a fake, and they ended up punting it. So, UNLV after the punt, 3 and out after the fumble. So good job by the defense. They get off the field. The Rebs will take over and throw in 11. Good enough start. Live price 6.5. That's an easy take for me with UNLV at this level based on what I saw in the first couple drives. Kennesaw punts it down to about the 5. Still leading 7-0. 150 to go before halftime. Game was totaled in the 60s when the game closed. So clearly defenses were a priority for both sides in this one to this point. North Texas has a 3rd and 5 in the red zone at Tulane on their opening drive. 11 plays, 57 yards so far, 4.5 off the clock. I got a good spot. First down, North Texas. Yeah, UNLV's +6, +6.5 out there in town. I still like +6.5. I think it's worth a bet. 55.5 under as well. They're going to measure this North Texas. I thought they had the first down. You'll hear me go back and forth with the volume on those two games that are in the first quarter. Because those are live feeds. UNLV's not afraid to take some shots. Punts back inside Boise territory. It's where they'll start. 9:28 to go in the first. I've said this for years that Boise should not be allowed to wear this uniform combination ever. It's a complete cheat. You got blue helmets, blue pants, blue shirts, blue carpet. Like, in what world is that fair? Barnett's pass to Wislowski, a touchdown for Jimmy Madison. Things is getting away from us there a little bit. No panic yet, but definitely got to start getting some stops. That was a drive that they shouldn't have got any points out of all. North Texas, 15 plays, 75 yards. 6:28 off the clock. 8:32 to go in the first. North Texas 7 and Tulane coming to bat. This kid for Kennesaw might be dead. Gabriel Benyard, he might be dead. R.I.P. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh! How did they call Tarjaying on that? It looks to me like a clean hit. He lowered his head. 43 made a hell of a play. That's also a fumble. He made a football move. Was there no clear recovery? I think he hits him in the sternum. The Tarjaying, the refs will be able to call this Tarjaying if they want, but I don't know. One of three elements must be present. How about at least two of them? That's where they're going to get him because he jumped up and went flying at him. If he doesn't hit him in the head, I don't know why they can call that. Big drive here for Troy State. Going to need to have to figure out a way to manufacture some points here and then get a stop. Madsen zings it in there. This one's complete. See how long it'll take him to get going. Bad job by me. I left my remote with the Jacksonville State volume up there. Or they say this guy might not have caught this pass for Boise. No control. That's an incomplete pass. Intentional grounding against Jacksonville State. Is that what they're against Kennesaw? That's what that was? Huh. Yeah, they're going to run the clock off on that because of the sack. Intentional grounding. Okay, so 7-0 Kennesaw at the break. Yardage is 143 to 131. Wow. The Rebel defensive renaissance continues. Madsen sacked. Third and 17, three-man rush. Oh, that can't happen. God, that ball's got to be intercepted if you're going to gamble. You'll see it in a second. Third and 17, Boise, and Madsen throws. I would believe it was an ill-advised pass. Way too many guys for both teams were standing close to each other when that ball was thrown. Tulane on the move. Could be a situation where both teams are trying to shorten this game up, in which case the total is extremely, way too high. Jacksonville State game to me looks like nothing can separate them if there's no mistakes. Obviously, there was the one turnover that hurt them. Touchdown, Boise. Madsen keeps it and runs it in off the right side. Boise strikes first. They're up 6-0. Point pending. 6:40 to go in the first. Tulane, slant, very close to the first down. Going to be 4th and 1. Extra point good. 7-0 Boise. Troy State bangs it right in. 11 plays, 75 yards. All right. And they're still throwing snowballs at us. 2:12 to go before the half, 17-14. The halftime price, Kennesaw half and 27 the total with some over money. I actually like Jacksonville State plus a half. Don't love it. Kennesaw gets the ball first. That's probably why they're the favorite, but I would rather have Jacksonville State. Nothing separating the teams with the exception of the one turnover. Both teams had a couple of decent drives. Tulane 1st and goal. what has been a first quarter that has basically flown by, given the fact that both teams have had long drives here. 15 plays, 75 yards for North Texas. Tulane's is 13 and 76, with the goal of eventually getting it to 80 as they have first and goal at the 4. Boise's drive was 5 plays, 51 yards, 2:48 off the clock. That's Madsen's third career rushing touchdown against UNLV. Nice play by North Texas's D. It's third and goal now at the 3. Retzlaff smashed. Retzlaff throws it. Incomplete. He got hit when he threw. And now it's fourth and goal. I don't know what they'll try to do. He's having some words with Allen. I'm not sure what that's all about. Boise's got guys on their sidelines wearing cowboy hats. You might be shitting me with this. Tulane going to go for it. At least they're showing like they will. Running backs offset to the right. Shotgun. Timeout. Tulane. They're first of the half right before the snap. Rebs with a false start. 2nd and 15. They got off to a slow start the first time they played this team. Boise was up 14-3 at the end of one. And UNLV got the ball first, just like in that game. Calandria, that's a really nice execution. Basically, they sprinted out to the left. He stopped. It looked, fired back, kind of a skinny post by Reynolds, caught. Good for about 20. And the Rebs will move the sticks. Lots of 27.5s popping up in the second half of this Kennesaw and Jacksonville State. Calandria keeps it. Going to be a first down. Gain of about 9. Rebels out past midfield. 1:30 to go in the half. Jimmy Madison up 17-14 with the ball at their own 42. UNLV, there's a blitz coming. They didn't get there. Calandria makes a play and makes them pay. First down Rebs down to the Boise 33. Clock inside of 4 minutes. 4th and goal for Tulane. Let's get some volume here. All kinds of people spaced out to the right here. Unbalanced line to Retzlaff. Play fake. Roll right. Cut it himself, and he's in. Touchdown Tulane. Good execution. That Tulane crowd, they must have showed a camera of way before the game started earlier when there are a lot of empty seats. It looks like it's packed in there now. "16 plays, 80 yards for Tulane. And that took 8 minutes and 2 seconds. 7-7 in New Orleans. 30 seconds to go in the first. Each team has only had the ball once. It's about as good as you can ask for your offensive execution. And if you have the under, you're not drawing dead. The total's in the mid-60s, and they only got to 14 in the first, even though they scored both times. Troy State takes over 17-14. 1:10 to go in the half. Yeah, there's nothing that I've seen so far that doesn't make me think that they're not in this thing with a chance. They had that 173-yard touchdown run. Other than that, Troy State's been as good. They've been right in it. Obviously, if you've been with me, you've seen the takes of 24.5, 24, 21, 17.5, and 14.5. 5 different whacks at the pinata in this first half. Calandria's pass incomplete, 4th down Rebels. Curious to see how aggressive Troy State gets. Jimmy Madison gets the ball at halftime. Bouye has a long kick coming for UNLV for 50-yarder. Got the distance. No, he doesn't. Maybe he did. It's still wide to the right. Rebs get nothing. 7-0 Boise. 2:35 to go in the first. Boise will take over after the missed field goal. Got interference against Jimmy Madison on Crowder's incomplete pass on 3rd and 12. I don't know about that. It's the right call. It's a stupid play is what it was. So they'll get the ball past midfield. 52 seconds left. 2nd and 10. And how can it be possible to have commercials everywhere? The only thing that's not showing a commercial is Samford and VCU on Masson. Oh, I take that back. The 5th set doesn't show commercials. So I told you guys about that are paying attention from earlier. The NCAA women's volleyball tournament's underway. And there's ESPN Plus has a specific channel that does whip around action, showing you everything that's going on, which is, when you're in the round of 32 or whatever, that's 16 matches tonight. I think there's some first round stuff today too. Matches were staggered. Some of them had Thursday, Friday, and some of them are going to be Friday, Saturday. So yeah, it's a pretty cool channel if you have any interest in volleyball. Obviously, it's got nothing to do with sports betting because you can't bet volleyball, as far as I know. But nonetheless, an interesting watch, and it beats watching the NBA or anything else. I really don't care too much even to watch hockey until the playoffs, even the nights. Bates with the first down catch for Boise. They'll move the sticks. Madsen trying to heat up a little bit. Had that 46-yard gain on the first drive, and he's got another big play here. Down to the Rebel 23 for 592 yards. So a 46, a 44, and a 2 for Madsen so far. Oh, wow. Interference against Tulane? I don't know about that at all. See if the Rebels can hold Boise to 3 here. That certainly would be a monumental achievement given things have gone sideways here for the Rebs in the last 15 plays from scrimmage or so. Motion left. Give it to the back. He bangs his way for maybe 1 or 2. I think they had a guy run for like 220 yards against UNLV in the first meeting. I have a feeling the Rebs were not going to let that happen again tonight. Riley, that's the guy that ran for 200 yards. He just caught a swing pass for a touchdown. 13 yards, Boise. 13, Rebs, nothing. 18 seconds to go in the first, point pending. Troy State 4th and 30 is punting it to James Madison, who has 2 timeouts left. That's a big failure on the part of Troy State to not have a chance to run the clock out. Third quarter underway in Jacksonville, Alabama. Kennesaw 7-0. Troy State's punt is off. Caught at the 29. Jimmy Madison has 35 seconds and one timeout. Rebs had a good play call there. Execution. You got guys running into each other. Third down, short. Well, medium. End of the first quarter, 14-0 Boise leads UNLV. Drive charts so far. UNLV fumble, punt, missed field goal. Boise punt, touchdown, touchdown. This Gonzaga-Kentucky game is a complete farce. 4 losses for the Cats now. I mean, it's a bitch of a schedule. Still got IU and Ohio State left before St. John's left before the SEC starts. 82-51. James Madison, the clock's going to run out and probably run all the way down and out. Yeah, I'll do it. 17-14 at the half. I think it's going to come like 13 and a half, and that to me seems absurd. But nothing I've seen tells me that they have to win this game outright, let alone cover, like we talked about earlier, 3 scores, 4 scores. Live plays at 24 and a half, 24, 21 and a half, 17 and a half, and 14 and a half or better at all 5 levels were the recommendations earlier in the stream, as you can see if you go back and watch the tape. But, yeah, Troy State, still the way to go. I'm not interested in it, but if you couldn't get down at halftime and live bets and you have to, if you want some sweat on the second half, like I say, the way to go is Troy State if you can catch 13 or more. Kennesaw State on the move on this first drive of the second half. They just had a 3rd and 13. They threw a swing pass. And I think he might have had he's close. He's out of bounds. So it's about 3 yards short of the first down. Rebs are going to have 4th and 2 at their own 33 as the second quarter's underway. I got to think they're probably going to punt, but Boise still has a team full of dudes that make the right plays. I'm still not convinced this guy's the best coach on earth, but uh-oh, we got a fumble. Tulane got it. They're in business. Yeah, he got down to the 26 and he spit it up. They hit him. Two guys hit him at the same time. So UNLV did punt it back to Boise. They started at their own 33. Not even a good punt. This game won't even be worth watching anymore if they don't do something here. Third and 1 for Boise. Third very short one. Give it to the back, Riley, first down. Green wave. Outside run. He's in. Touchdown, green wave. Jamari McClure from 7 yards out, 12:29 to go, 13-7. Wave. Madsen's pass is complete, first down. Xavier, good start to the second half, up 19-6 over Cincinnati to break a 37-all deadlock and go up 56-43 in the crosstown shootout. Second half, Jimmy Madison, 13s are all gone. Lots of 12.5s popping up. Again, that line was too high. It's been too high since the game started. It was never right to begin with. I don't care about the final score. I do care about it because of the fact that I've instructed you to tap it 5 times. But yeah, if you haven't hit it yet, if you could still find 13, take it. If not, then leave it alone. Total is 23.5 and 24. Both are in play. No opinion whatsoever. Actually, I could only lean under, but I could not have it because you'll laugh, but I really think this game could go to overtime. And, at that point, you're drawing dead. Total being that low. Kennesaw up 10-0. Jacksonville State on the move. Middle of the third quarter. Rebs on second time this drive on 3rd and 1. Boise's run a quarterback sneak. Wow, this Boise receiver was wide open. I mean, UNLV's defense is completely collapsing again. Almost looking like it's too good to be true. It's crazy. Game completely changed since the very first drive. I mean, that's impossibly bad. And there's no one within 20 yards of this guy. I'm still trying to get myself into. I'm having to sit here and sweat this out even with the audio just to see how bad Kentucky finally ends up losing. In 37. I mean, you'd think when they get down by 30 that you could make a run and lose by 20 against the scrubs, but I guess not. Gonzaga 94, Kentucky 59. Lots of boos in Nashville. ESPN2 will be showing that 5th set after these commercials, and you'll be able to watch that as well. It's on I was telling you guys, it's on ESPN Plus. No commercials if you wanted to. If you wanted to watch that, if you didn't have anything to sweat on the football, or you've had enough of the football, or in my case, the basketball. Tulane up 14-7. North Texas ball. Keep you posted if anything pops here. Mestemaker threw one, should have been picked, and then if it would have been caught, it would have been a touchdown. So Boise goes punt, touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. The first 2 touchdown drives were 5 plays each. This one with a couple of 40-yard plus plays in there. This one was 12 for 67. Live price, Boise 24 and 59, 59 and a half. I don't have any thoughts. Rest maker on 3rd and 12 goes down. They blitzed him, got him. Jimmy Madison second half, as I said earlier, give or take 11 and a half is the most popular price now. The 13s that are still out there are dog a bunch. It's basically 11 and a half flat. There's some 11 and a half dog money. Again, I'm not going to repeat myself much longer. You guys have surely heard me before, but Troy State plus 24 and a half, plus 24, plus 21 and a half, plus 18, and plus 14 and a half. All were live recommendations. I said preferably better if you bet 4, don't take the last one. They're all in chronological order coming down the ladder. If you had to get involved at this point, I guess, like I say, you're not getting the worst of it taking 11 and a half. That's still the same as the 14 and a half, which is the last price I had you recommend in the second quarter. So yeah, that's sort of where I see it. I think Troy State's in it with a shot. So yeah, obviously I'm going to recommend 11 and a half. Rebs have it back. Let's see what they do here. Yeah, Boise's 20 and 23. The defensive backs have both made really good heady plays the last couple drives. Calandria 4 for 10 for 58 yards. It's putrid. Boise up to 26 and a half at Pinnacle. 24 minus a bunch elsewhere. Jacksonville State. I'm sorry, Troy State has it, or Kennesaw State has it back. Sorry, up 10-0. 4 minutes to go, clock moving. Jacksonville State get points taken off. Have a development here. It looks like Caleb Hawkins has a shoulder injury for North Texas, and his night is done. Yeah, they missed a field goal from 35. Yikes. This has taken the whole quarter. Their drive took 5 minutes and 26 seconds. Kennesaw's first took 5 minutes, and now Jacksonville State's 3 minutes in, and they're on the move. Kennesaw is into Jacksonville State territory at around the 35. Key first down conversion on 3rd and 4 near midfield. You know, it's funny that they say that. Now, UNLV would have been in conversation. Boise can't make it, but UNLV, if they'd been 11-2, they could have been there. Whether they belong or not's irrelevant. Who else belongs? You got to take two of those. Could you take UNLV over Duke? The conversation becomes moot, especially if the UNLV doesn't score a touchdown this drive. Third and 17, they get nothing. Fourth and 17. I got to tap out on that game. There's nothing else to even talk about, really. No live updates. Nothing worth bringing up. 1 minute to go in the third. Clock continues to move against Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State. I thought the rain was done in Boise. I'll be damned. Let me look and see how much longer this is going to continue. Oh, it's like one little band coming in right over the stadium. There may be another one later, but it won't last long here. That's kind of a tough one. Is there a shift change on the fifth set show? There's some different girls that are on there now than what there were earlier. Maybe I'm wrong. This is the first time I've ever seen this show, by the way. Like I said, I like the fact that there's all these tournament games going, and they've been showing with no commercials. Oh, is it over? Surely not. Oh, it might be over. Oh, man, that's terrible. They said commercial break, but there hasn't been a commercial break the whole night. Maybe that they went back to ESPN2. I guess that's maybe what it is. Other than that, I got nothing. Okay. Tulane on the move again. That's the one we got our eyeballs on for a possible halftime play. I'll stick around with you for that until that. They're in the red zone up 14-7 over North Texas. Retzlaff play fake, drop back all day, fires. Looks like the receiver stopped. Ball was over his head, but I think his receiver stopped. Summerall's losing his shit. I think he thinks that he was interfered with. I mean, he's madder than a hornet. I'm not sure what had pissed him off. I'd like to see the replay. They're just smashing it up their ass anyways. Tulane clearly ready to play. It's important for North Texas to answer if Tulane scores again. The script is out for both teams. Both teams had really long touchdown drives to start the game. I guess they're going to have to kick a field goal here, but I'm sure they're not going to be happy about it. Yep. Durkin's in. Jimmy Madison has it at midfield up by 3, 12.5 to go in the third. Durkin's kick is right down the middle. 17-7, Tulane leads North Texas, 5:46 to go before the break. Fourth quarter about to start in Jacksonville, Alabama. Kennesaw 10-0. They were 2nd and 2 at the 26. UNLV 4 first downs, 5 penalties. That about explains it, right? Maddox lines up, fires. Should have been intercepted. It was dropped. Boise still has it around midfield. Up 21-0. First and goal for Kennesaw. We got a stoppage here down to about the 5. Second and goal. I'm behind here, so forgive me. Keeper, roll right, goes down, loses a yard. Third and goal at the 5. Guess he made the right read, but he took a long time to do so. Fourth and 21 for James Madison. They'll have to punt. Fourth and goal for Kennesaw. Boise punter rolls right, kicks it down to the 5, and that's where it'll be need. And Boise will take over there. 6:56 to go in the half. 21-0 Boise. UNLV will take over there. 21-0. So they called it a touchdown on the field, but the one ref's waving his arms. They're reviewing it. It's either going to be 16-0 with the point pending, or they're going to give Jacksonville State the ball inside their own 1. Or at their own 1. Going the other way, down 10. The only thing I'm sure of is the clock says 12:40. It's all about the progress. I don't have an audio on that TV, and I can't get to it from here because I left my remote up yonder. But it says Hawkins isn't going to return, but they did show him walking back on the field with no pads on, or with no, I won't say no shoulder pads. Let's say that. Doesn't mean they can't put him on if he's on the sidelines, but maybe it was premature of me to say he was out. Just that's what I got from one piece of information. If somebody's got something better, by all means, come on the chat and And let me know. What happened in that in Mikey's seventh? Let me look. 11-4-10. 10 ran third. 3:48 to show. Maker was a monster favorite. Yeah, that's the worst. North Texas only has 19 yards on 15 carries. That's one of the keys here. Tulane's done a good job trying to turn them into a one-dimensional team. Tough ask for a true freshman quarterback to try to get his team to the playoffs if you turn him into a one-dimensional on the road. Now it's raining in New Orleans. Calandria has a pass that's complete on a flag pattern, and you know they have a first down depending on the penalty. Troy State ran for negative rush yards and multiple touchdowns. What a stat. I think their touchdown runs must have been from both of them from the 1 or 2 yard line. So Kennesaw State kept him out of was kept out of the end zone, but then Cook's carry on the first play, he got knocked back in, and it's going to be a safety. Sombrerito, the Hat Man, the little hat. 12-0 Kennesaw, 12:33 to go. Kennesaw can smell it at this point. Calandria lobs it out of bounds. 4:49 to go before the break. I had forgot earlier to tell my sister and brother-in-law about, hey, let Riley and Reese know, my nieces, they can watch this volleyball tournament if they want to. I think it's cool. If I was given that I have ADD myself, even back in high school, I would have loved the ability to watch all these tournament games. I mean, in basketball, hell, we used to only have CBS. You could, you got your one game on your local affiliate. If you wanted to watch more, like, you have to go to the bar. Like, I can't begin to describe. I can't begin to describe how much, how imperative it was to be able to see as many games as you could. You went out wherever you knew that there was a place that had satellite dishes, so you could watch as many games as you could. I'm not a huge fan of the Red Zone channel, especially they threw in these ads this year. I do keep it on one of my TVs while I'm watching all the other NFL games to keep myself in the loop. If there's any big plays that I miss, whatever. But I'm trying to watch as many plays as I can from games that are being played. In the 1 o'clock window, it becomes very tough because there's only if there's 7 games going on at once, for example, like there will be this week, or 8, you can't. I don't care how good you are and how you train your eyes to pay attention to what's going on in front of you. You can't watch 8 games at once. I'm pushing it. If I'm on my best day and I'm not having to talk to you guys and I'm only watching games and making notes, mentally, or looking for halftime and live bets, I can get 5, maybe 6. Especially if 2 of them are throwouts, like either blowouts or I have no interest in the game, then I could focus on the other 4. I could do that. But that's the upper limits of anything. And really you're better off 2 or 3 at the most and, just sort of, go with it from there. 1 becomes almost too boring. Tonight's pretty cool to be able to talk about these 4 that are going on. It would be nice if a couple of them were more competitive. Jacksonville State just can't do anything on offense. Which, they really didn't do that much on offense the first time. That was a misleading score. Kennesaw State did dominate the game, but I still thought that you would at least have some scoring, even if not a ton of it, for both sides. I thought it would be kind of a low-scoring game, but really close. But, Jacksonville State just can't do anything. They had that one drive where that just changed things. They had the one drive where they took it down into the red zone, and then they threw a pick. Now, as I say that, Kennesaw State, off the free kick, they fumble, and it's recovered by Jacksonville State. So they have it in. It was the punter that made the hit. Wow. The punter makes the hit that forces the fumble. That's just a freak play there. I mean, he just stuck his arm in, and the guy ran into it. What a play. It could be a season saver. 37 will be the MVP if they win this game. So Jacksonville State takes over in Kennesaw territory, 12:24 to go. So they basically traded 2 points for 50 yards is what the end result was when it was all said and done. Calandria takes it in for the Rebs. 21-7 Boise, and they do get it at halftime. Key drive here for both teams. The Rebs can get a stop, and any points before halftime would be nice, obviously. Rebs with 2 timeouts left, 3 for Boise. Live price, I'll give it to you again, maybe in a second, now that they're actually back in it and they're showing some fight. I was about ready to tap out on that one. 17-7 Tulane over North Texas, 2-minute warning there. Status update on the field is North Texas. Tulane has the ball 2nd and 6 at their own 20. Yardage is 168 to 115 in favor of Tulane. Drive chart, touchdown, fumble, punt for North Texas, touchdown, field goal for Tulane. So they have no punts in their 3 drives. This is their 4th. Each team had the ball once each team had 1 possession, the first quarter was almost all gone. 9 plays, 95 yards for the Rebs there, 5-yard rush for Calandria. That was the first 5 drives combined were 75 yards, so they're up to 170 now. Box score is not quite as much of a bloodbath as it was earlier. Kennesaw 12-0. There's still a timeout in that game. I'm not sure what happened. Jacksonville State has 2nd and 8 at the 34. Okay, so that was after. So my commercials got me on a delay. They took a commercial after the safety. 17-14. Jimmy Madison has it at their own 17. 8:26 to go in the 3rd quarter. Good old battle on our hands there. Just as I expected, again, with all the Tulane information, or the Troy State information I gave you at the start. Live plays at 24.5, 21.5, 24.5, 24, 21.5, 18, and 14.5 or better, plus the halftime bet if you didn't have anything yet at 13 or 11.5, down by 3. So, like I say, not that I love Troy State. Just it doesn't seem like it's a very good spot for Jimmy Madison to cover a huge number. They can win. They don't have to, though. Nothing I saw in the first 2 drives told me they should be laying any number that resembles this. They do get a first down out to past the 30. Clock moving inside of 8 minutes to go in the 3rd. Kennesaw State 5.5 point favorite, 25.5 under, 26 under The options on the totals at 12-0. Jacksonville State has a first down at the 22. Now second down at the 13. Tulane has it back now, up by 10, 141 left, and they get it to start the half. They've already into North Texas territory, so pretty disastrous set of events here for North Texas in the last couple of minutes, even though they held them to a field goal the last time. Two-minute warning on you as Boise has a huge play. UNLV can't tackle this. Riley, this is the other guy, Gaines. Yeah, Riley's only had 4 carries for 9 yards. Gaines 7 for 63. Oh, man, Tulane punts it, and they muff the punt. Tulane's going to have the ball inside the North Texas 10. Just a colossal error. Jimmy Madison, 3rd and 10 at their own 43, 5:25 to go, clock moving. Barnett back to throw it all day. He fires. He's hit when he throws, and it's picked. Intercepted 40, 35, 30. Troy State in business. Inside the 30. Screen pass by Boise, missed tackle by UNLV, and he gone. Touchdown, Boise. 1:51 to go. Said there was a block in the back. Oh, here comes the flag. Sherrod took it in. Should have been interference on the kick, and they didn't call it on Tulane, so costly for North Texas. Yeah, the North Texas coach was telling them, too, you screwed us. You can't do that. I mean, that Tulane guy interfered with the kick catcher. So the Boise touchdown did stand, actually. I don't know what the penalty on the UNLV was. It was one of those, okay, play fake, back. It's a screen, so missed tackle. And the two defensive guys ran into each other. Defensive holding. 27 7-point penalty. The only good thing about that for the Rebs is that they have enough time to score a touchdown again before the half. May not get doubled up. First and goal, Jacksonville State. They are in. 10:22 to go. 12-6 point pending. Sherrard's touchdown pass from Madsen was 39 yards. 3 plays, 79 yards. 1:12 off the clock. Jacksonville State touchdown drive off the free kick, 7 fumble, 7 plays, 48 yards, 2:04 off the clock. 10:20 left. 12-7 Kennesaw. Gamecocks are in for the first time. Troy State trying to get down into field goal range. Yeah, incomplete pass. 45-yard field goal coming here. Missed it. Jimmy Madison still up 17-14. Troy State misses a 46-yard field goal. That would have tied it up. 4:24 to go in the third. I don't have a clue what happened to Boise's defense there. They had to call timeout. Calandria took off, and he was going to be running. He'd already be into Pocatello by now. Cincinnati was a small favorite or a pick 'em at post in the crosstown shootout at Xavier. It looks like the Musketeers are going to hang in there and win the game at home for Richard Pitino. Musketeers 7-3 now. It looks like Cincinnati will fall to 6-3. Tulane banging their way up the middle. Timeout's called, 11 seconds left. Second and goal from the 1. Xavier's got a guy completely losing his mind. Number 12 just completely blowing his mind. Like in celebration. Like, we run this town. This is our town. This is our house. Game is at Cintas. Yeah, this guy, he's celebrating like I don't even know what he's trying to say. I'm not even sure if I'd let him shake hands after the game. The guy looks like he's getting ready to kill somebody. Anyways, Xavier wins at 79-74 over the Bearcats. Second and goal here for Tulane. Here at the Dick line. Trying to bang this thing again, go up 24-7. And they get the ball to start the second half. Retzloff pass is incomplete. It'll be third and goal. 10 seconds left. They do have a timeout left, so it's a Completely open playbook here, whatever they want to do. Retzlaff stopped. He's at the, I mean, we're talking maybe the 1 foot line, 12-inch line, a third of a yard line, whatever you want to call it. 3 seconds left. Maybe not as close as that. Maybe a full yard. 4th and goal. 3 seconds. This will be it. It is a nice rain falling. I'm curious about the weather up there. Actually, I'm going to look that up before the halftime. Well, the Boise I want to know too, though. Hang on. Yeah, the rain in Boise is light and almost insignificant, it seems. Okay, I got the radar pulled in on Ullman Stadium. Let's see what it has to say. It's going to rain most of the second half. Yeah, there's just a consistent band of rain coming from southwest to northeast offshore. It's going to keep raining. Here we go. 3 seconds left before the half. Oh, O'Meara is in for the Rebs. They shoved him. Touchdown. Last play of the half, Tulane, 23-7, point pending. Rebel touchdown was a huge one in terms of at least keeping the game competitive. And that's why Boise scored. It's possible to say too quick. Now the argument can be made that the Rebels scored too quick. 6 plays, 75 yards, 102 off the clock. Calandria's touchdown pass cuts the lead to 28-13. Point pending. 48 seconds left. They're going to review the push. I thought he was in by a lot. That camera angle's horse shit. You got to do better than that. That pylon cam can't help if you don't zoom in. Here's one. Rebel touchdown will stand up. 28-13, point pending. Well, it's up to UNLV and North Texas to make these games competitive because the 7 o'clock Eastern starts turning into quite the doozies. Middle of the fourth in Jacksonville, Alabama. Kennesaw State still leads 12-7. 5:49. Okay, so 5:49 left. I'm on my clock, so I'm behind a minute and a half on that feed. 3rd and 3 at the Kennesaw 37. So Jacksonville State has the ball. They got a 4th down conversion. That's why they're at where they're at. Okay, so their quarterback kept it and ran for it. So there we go. That's that situation. Troy State, Jimmy Madison, the clock is stopped. 4th and 5 at the 48 for Troy. Crowder's pass is incomplete. There's an injury on the field. 1:38 left, and it is Crowder who's down. This will obviously affect everything that happens the rest of the way here. Kilcrease is warming up. This guy was a human disease when he started playing. He got to the point where he was serviceable after about the 5th game, but he can't play. I mean, the drop-off between a healthy Crowder and Kilcrease is like many points. Keep that in mind for live purposes. If you're in a situation where you can think about maybe getting off of if you can take some Jimmy Madison now at -10, now you're getting in a spot where you can do that. Don't do it if you haven't bet the game yet. But if you've taken the 24.5, 24, 21.5, 18, and 15 like I recommended, or 17.5, 14.5 like I recommended, those 5 numbers earlier, by all means feel free to lay anything in the 10 range or better. I see Chris has just popped the 9.5 plus money. I would lay 9.5. Okay, there it is, 9.5 minus money. I would lay that. Good up to 10 flat. I'm not sure what they're waiting on in this football game. They've been looking at it forever, but there's no way that they can say it wasn't a touchdown. There's really nothing else they could do. I mean, I thought he got in, and they could have overturned it maybe, but there was so much of a mass of humanity. If you're the offense, you have to count on the refs calling it a touchdown, because otherwise you're not going to probably get the benefit of the review. There's just too much going on. – 24-7 at the half, Tulane leads. They do get the ball. $24 in a row for the Green Wave. Jacksonville State in, and they've taken the lead. Caden Creel. All right, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Gamecocks. We got a Castigo for cheating? What happened? Nope, no flag. 9 plays, 59 yards, 4:16 off the clock, and they're going to go for 2. Halftime in Boise, 28-14. Boise did not try to do anything at the end of the half there. Surprises me. Punt, 4 touchdowns, and then that one. All right, so Jacksonville State goes for 2 and gets it. Conversion past Johnson. So it's 15-12, 4:04 left. Kennesaw State from up 12 to down 3 here in the fourth quarter. Exciting finish coming in from Jacksonville, Alabama. Another one maybe in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Jimmy Madison's lead over Troy State is 17-14. That game is at the end of the third quarter. Live price there. Jimmy Madison 10 and 44.5. There is some over money. There is some under money. It's split. I told you have my blessing to lay 10, but only if you took 24.5, 24, 21.5, 17.5, or 14.5. The 5 recommendations that I gave you earlier. If you took any of those, you have my blessing to lay 10. This is a different market, and it can still win. I would only do the 10 as a hedge. I wouldn't do it as a straight play, by the way, but that's a story for a different day. We had a feeling they weren't going to move it much, even with Crowder. The defense has kept them in it. The offense has to maybe do something. I mean, obviously they missed a field goal the last time. Have to wait and see also if Jimmy Madison gives them a mistake. But, they're laying 24.5, and they're only up by 3 after 3. So we got way the best of it. Anybody that followed me when I told you very early on after the first drive or two, just keep tapping that like it's like a senior citizen playing in a slot tournament. You just got to keep hitting the button, all the way through the tournament. I mean, just keep hitting that Troy button. Troy, and submit. Troy and submit. Troy and submit live. As long as those were going to be the prices, you had to keep going. Simple as that. Crowder is listed as questionable on odds logic to return. From what I saw with my own eyes, I would be very surprised if he comes back unless they give him a shot of vitamin T. And I mean, listen, Kilcrease, as bad as he is, he did play a lot in that middle part of the schedule. He went from unconscionably bad, Troy State and ULa's quarterback situations were the worst in the history of the Sun Belt this year for a while. They went from really, really, really bad to by the time that Kilcrease was playing in his 4th or 5th game, he was just mediocre, I guess is the right word. He had to be good enough to at least get him to this game. I mean, you don't qualify for the Sun Belt title game without doing some things right. I mean, the Troy State coach, he deserves whatever job that somebody wants to give him because their talent does not equate to them playing in this game. Although, to be fair, a lot of teams in the Sun Belt did underachieve this year. The 2 games are both at halftime, and I'm going to call it here shortly. We're at the 3-hour mark here. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me on the SWEATBOX tonight. I am Rex Byers, your host here on Twitch and YouTube. Ask questions. Thanks, Alvin the Chipmunk. Appreciate you. Congrats on the newspaper article. Really enjoyable read. Great to see the other side of the camera. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. I appreciate you guys hanging out and checking it out today. Like I say, this is something I've been doing for a while, just trying to inform, entertain, and educate. But ultimately, I'm in this to try to help you guys as well. And if you guys can have fun watching me, and we can chat, and you can get, if I'm watching all these games, but you guys have something on that I don't, you can have information you could share, with the group for live or halftime purposes. You can ask me a question about what I would do if I were in a situation to bet a second half. That's what we're here for. I mean, ultimately, that's what'll make it work. I'd like to think so. That's where it stands as far as I'm concerned. That's how I see it. Anyways, halftime's Tulane 24-7 over North Texas. They're laying a half. Total is 30-30.5. Let's see. What did I write down there? Yeah, I wrote down basically Pickett or North Texas a half. No opinion. I mean, it's Tulane's done their work. They were the right side in the game. We have them going in, so it looks pretty good. 30-30.5. Again, no real strong opinion there one way or the other. And UNLV Boise 28-14. Boise at the break. Boise laying 30-30.5 the total. No opinion on the total. I do like UNLV some on the side, even with Boise getting the ball first. UNLV will continue to try to take shots at them, and I could see the back door being open here. So that's the way that I'd play it. 4th and 4 for Jimmy Madison. Key conversion. Barnett's pass to Wislowski complete. Jimmy Madison will move the sticks. If anybody's got any questions or anything else for me, please fire it into the chats of both YouTube and or Twitch in the next minute or so. we put in a good 3-hour shift, and I did good. I didn't go to the bathroom or anything. No breaks tonight. Tomorrow that'll be different. We'll start noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, give or take, based on the schedule as you'll see it, and then we'll go from there. Don't be afraid if you're checking this out for the first time to hit the like button. Anything that would help me get the ability to to up the to up the followers, to up the viewership. Obviously that's going to be a key for this thing to work out in the long run. For me to be able to do it, whether it's a main thing or a side thing. Do appreciate it. So yeah, that'll wrap it up. You can sweat these things out yourself. I'll give you one more update. 3 minutes to go. Jacksonville State leads Kennesaw State. That'll be the first one that goes final, most likely. That's on CBS College Sports. Kennesaw State down by 3, has the ball at their own 38. James Madison, 17-14, 13 minutes to go. They have it at the Troy State 43 or so, 3rd and long. You've got Tulane 24-7 over North Texas, a half and 1 for Tulane, and 30 and a half the total. No opinion. And Boise 28-14, slight lean to UNLV +3, flat or better. Total 30 and a half flat. All right. I guess the article must have ran for me. Hopefully tomorrow we'll do this. There'll be a lot more people. Maybe. Hopefully. We'll see. That'll do it for me tonight. We'll be back in the SWEATBOX tomorrow in exactly 14 hours. It's going to be a fun day. We'll have UFC 323. That's the last pay-per-view card for the foreseeable future out here at T-Mobile Arena, because UFC will be going from ESPN to the CBS Paramount family, where it will not be under a pay-per-view umbrella going forward. So that starts next year. Last pay-per-view card of the year and of the foreseeable future. You've got early soccer tomorrow all over the place. Lots of games in England I'll be monitoring early. College basketball starts at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, actually. I think that's the Duke and Michigan State game, I think. Hell of a game. Put on your shoulder pads and helmets for that one. And that'll be fun. That'll be going on Big Fox as we start. So when I get started tomorrow, I will be I'll be able to come right in with that, give you the information there, be ready for the halftime. That'll be the first halftime of the day. And then we have college football conference championship games, 2 of them at the same time, BYU, Texas Tech, and Miami O, Western Michigan. Then a delay, the SEC championship game, Georgia and Alabama, is by itself in the middle of the afternoon, 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern. And then the late games at the same time, Duke, Virginia, and Indiana, Ohio State at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. I will be around on and off all day, specifically for the first halves of the early games. Take a little break after that. Then the first half of Alabama, Georgia, or before halftime, I should say, whatever. And then obviously for the late games, I'll be around until halftime. So that'll be kind of the schedule. We'll see how it plays itself out. Obviously, I'll play it by ear depending on how many people are watching. It looks like Goose Crowder got carted to the locker room, so he's done. Okay, so 17-14. Jimmy Madison leads Troy State. That game's on ESPN. The other 2 games, North Texas Tulane on ABC and UNLV Boise State on Big Fox. 2-minute warning, Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State. 15-12 Jacksonville State leads. That game, neither team that wins it will be going to the playoffs. It's probably the one thing that we're safe in saying. James Madison holding on to a small chance, but with the game sitting 3 like this, even if they win, they're no cinch, depending on what happens, obviously, elsewhere. And, that'll do it. Thanks for checking me out here on the SWEATBOX. Peace and love. Have a good evening. We'll reconvene tomorrow. Take care. Be well. God bless.